Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese here in my humble abode in my second bedroom of my house. I sometimes go back and forth between doing podcast episodes at my tattoo shop in my office or here at the house. It's just when I'm feeling aligned and alive to do a thing, right? And I think that that's like the whole point of life is really just following the nudges. I was having a conversation with one of my Scale Mastermind inner circle artists. If you don't know what Scale Mastermind is, it's basically the program and the container where I take artists who desire to go into education and start creating their own programs, their own passive income streams through the lens of mentorship, coaching, and education. And Alondra we were having our one-on-one conversation around play. And I thought, wow, this is a really good conversation to have within the confines here of the Mind of Reese, because it's like, even for me, when it comes to play, it's it's a thing that feels far away. It's almost as though we are, I only can play when, right? It's conditional. Once we get our homework done or once we eat our vegetables, we get this. It's like the treat that we get outside of it. And the one thing that I was talking to her about, because she was having some really, some burnout action. She was having moments of burnout. And we were having this conversation where she was like, the moment that I kind of got back into play, the moment I started snowboarding again, the moment I started, just offering myself space to get back into community and to be outside and know that this is the reason why I'm doing the thing that I'm doing, it made me realize like how much I enjoyed my job again. And I told her, I was like, well, you source your energy through play. Like that's where we source all of our energy, our creative energy, our desires are all coming from our sacral, which is our emotional chakra. It's in our lower belly where we create, and it's really our place of pleasure. It's connected to what we desire. It's like moving in this world with pleasure, moving in this world in a way that really lights us the fuck up. And we are often told that we're actually not, like, playing is the reward, when really play is how we source the information to understand what it is we're meant to do next. And what I mean by this is pleasure is play. So when I play, like when I'm out there doing the things that I love doing, I follow that source of pleasure. I follow that source of divine feminine essence where I'm like, yes, I'm going to move toward my desires and not move away from it because of fear. And so this became a whole topic of conversation for her, where she's really the bright light to creating, she's helping people find their own free spirit. And I'm like, you're the free spirit coach. You're the one who's helping us find the portals of possibilities and potential through play. And magic is so created, and our brilliance is created from that sense of pleasure. Do you ever find that, like, whenever you go on vacation or something, you just start having downloads, and you start feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready to get energized, and I energize again and again and again. And you're like, when you give yourself that sense of integration time. So play doesn't only mean like snowboarding or surfing or whatever, which, I mean, obviously for me, it's like I'm more of a traveler. I'm like, let me go travel and be in the jungle and rest and work in the jungle. Like that for me right now is just so playful. I'm like, ooh, I get to travel. I get to be in different cultures, and give me an hour and I'll go teach a class really quick, go be with my people in my community because I love being in relationship to you guys, and then go back out there and really continue to be so present in the moment. And when we are in play, we are present. And that right there is automatically going to set yourself up for success, because anytime we're in the present moment, that's where magic and miracles happen, right? We've got to shift timeline. So oftentimes when we are walking through this life, especially when we are in routine and we are in the realm of predictability, what happens is that we are constantly doing the same things over and over again, creating the same future from the past experiences that we know of and putting it in our present moment, and just creating that predictability life, right? The predictable life. And a lot of us really like some predictability, right? But then that gets monotonous, and then we're wondering why, well, I feel stuck, I feel confused, I feel in limbo. And honey, you're not stuck, you're not confused, you're not in limbo. The thing is that you have to source bravery. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's not that you don't know how to play or that you don't know what the next move is that maybe you're not brave enough to take that next move. And that's where limbo, confusion, perfectionism, overwhelm, and overwork always come in. So when we can source a little bit of play, be back in the moment, realize that we are so capable of all of the things when we are in our moment, because we're not looking to our past to give us evidence of what we are capable of. What we're doing is we're looking right here, right now. I am in this moment. I am enjoying this moment. I am grateful for this moment. And then all of a sudden, new things download, new creative ideas, new creative innovation. You're all of a sudden just like, I have my $1 million idea, right? And then we are like, cool, we've got the idea. Once we plant the seed of the idea, then all of a sudden we ring that idea through the filter of the past and we're like, are we capable of this? And how? And the more that we go into the hows, the more we start to get into analysis paralysis. And so this is when it's like, you got to really, like, the way we have to really focus on is really being in that unshakable belief on what is possible, sticking to the realm of possibility and potentiality. So the thing is that every time we stay in the present moment, we start to source play. We start to lean into our feminine energy, that feminine essence, that feminine leadership that allows us to move in a way that's so different than any other person can move, because we move through and with emotion. We move based on feeling. Women, we're so good at this. As females, as like that feminine energy that we all source, whether you're male or female, but women especially, we really source through our emotions. And when we can dial up who we are, what makes us the most different, number one, our emotions make us the most different. Breaking free of the shackles of who you think you need to be and just be self-expressed, that is the true key to wealth and money. And money just plays a small part to that wealth. Money is just the amplifier and the tool to create wealth in your life. But genuine self-expression, that's where you're going to source your best understanding of what it is in alignment for you. What is your dharma? What is your purpose? We dial that up, then we understand. Then we get into the moment. We start to play. We start to download. We start to get creative hits on what's next for us. But what ends up happening is a lot of the times we see what's next for us. We let that filter through the past lens of like what we are capable of, because we utilize our past as ways to understand what we are capable of based on what we've done before. Instead of sourcing our dreams, our goals into something that, oh, this is a possibility. Oh, this is potential. Why? How do we source that it's a possibility? You get into rooms with people that make it their new normal. You stretch your capacity to be brave and take action over and over again over time. That's how you really, truly do it. It's like, I see so many people have these big, beautiful dreams, but then they intimidate them. It's like, are your dreams intimidating you? And can you stretch your capacity to see yourself, to shift timelines from basing your past as evidence of what you are capable of because you've done it before, or being in rooms with people who have done it, who stretch your capacity to believe what's normal for you and what could be your new normal, and look to the future and source the possibilities and potential to the future you that you desire to be. Now that's true investment. I think about the energy behind the investment is, if I am investing, I'm investing in who I am. I'm not investing in a thing. I might be investing in programs and mentorship and in seminars and whatever it might be, but I am investing in who I am becoming. The money doesn't have to be here and right now for me to invest, because it's going to be with me. It's going to happen when I become the person I'm meant to become. I believe that. I believe that my $10 million year is going to happen because I'm on my way to becoming a woman that can hold that type of energy. Money is just energy. Can I understand that capacity and hold that right now? It feels really big. And the moment I start feeling like, how am I going to do this? There's two things. Number one, I'm not sourcing the potential of who I'm not surrounding myself around the people enough that may have that as their new normal. If I'm wondering the how, or two, I haven't created the pathways to get paid that. And so right now, here I am really creating. I am in rooms with women that are 7 to 8 figures in income a year. I am in rooms. I've paid to be in rooms. I've invested thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to be in rooms like this because I know I'm investing in who I am becoming. And the moment I do that, the moment that I source that energy from that, all of a sudden that investment energizes me, and I am that person. The moment that I say yes, because I decide it to be. That's the unshakable belief in what is possible. So if my dreams are intimidating me, this is where we get to lean in and stretch, or we run away. So how we shift these timelines, how we really allow to allow the source of magic to play through our own lives, is to not only be brave enough to follow your pleasure, not only be brave enough to play more, not only be brave enough to say what you want, declare that shit, declare what you want out loud. Genuine self-expression is to really own what the fuck you want. Because when you own what the fuck you want, you start to become who the fuck you are meant to be. And when we do that, then we can be intimidated by our own dreams. I'm not intimidated by just getting by. That's the realm of predictability. I don't want to live in the realm of predictability. I want to live in the realm of magic and miracles. And the only time that magic and miracles happen is when I'm so genuinely sourced in wealth and abundance in the now, right here, right now. Wealth is who I am to be in the moment. It's literally taking from this present moment and sourcing the gratitude, sourcing the abundance that I have within right here, right now. I am wealth. There is no other way to put that. Like, I truly believe I am the energy of wealth, and I continue to source that energy and let it filter through me. And anytime I have a trigger, I move through that as well, because I am also the acceptance. I'm so self-expressed to the point where I feel all my feelings. To be authentic is to understand and accept yourself. In April, we are in acceptance and self-concept April in the arc. This is where we're really accepting all parts of ourselves, accepting what we desire, accepting what we want, accepting who we are. Because when we are accepting of all those things, we forgive. And forgiveness is such a high. It's such a high. When we forgive ourselves for shame, for the insecurities, for all the grudges, the whatever it might be, we take ownership for that. I feel the greatest feeling of all when I feel I source forgiveness not only for myself, but for others as well. And shame is correlated in self-sabotage. So anytime I am trying to self-sabotage the things, if I feel shame around the things that I desire, I'm only self-sabotaging the thing I desire. So the moment I say, I declare I want a $10 million year, and whoop, I feel a trigger within my body, I don't shame the fact that I have doubts. No way. I don't shame the fact that I judge myself for wanting that. Oh, why do you want that, Reese? That seems like overkill. It seems like a lot. That's a lot of disgusting, ugly money. Of course, I want obscene, ugly money. I know what I'm going to do with that money. I'm a very generous human being, with or without money. I've always been very generous, and I know that by me having more money, I'm just going to be more generous with it. So who you are to be right here, right now, is who you are with money that amplifies that. Money is just the amplifier. Money is just an amplifier of who you are and a tool for your wealth. A small little part that plays into your wealth. Your wealth is here. It's inside of you. We source that here first. And if you are capped, if you're feeling like you're capped, or you're at a ceiling, and you feel like maybe you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're wondering why you can't top that ceiling, then this is where you really got to go within, and you got to feel that out, and you got to take ownership. You got to take ownership for the fact that you're like, okay, what's the block? I'm the block. If I feel a trigger, if I feel activated, if I feel like I'm stuck, if I feel overwhelmed, overworked, or whatever, that's on me. I'm the one who did that. Nobody else did that to me. I could have said no to the things. I could have said yes to certain things. I didn't do that. I did that to myself. Nobody else did that to me. So when we're looking at that from that lens, and I just take radical ownership for everything that is happening within my life, even the things that I believe, like, don't get me wrong. Yes, my parents had certain beliefs around money. Yes, my parents had certain beliefs around working hard and how to be successful. But just because that they had those beliefs, and now that I know that and I'm aware of that, doesn't mean I blame them for that. I say, hey, that's their beliefs. If I'm still wearing those beliefs after now I'm aware, then that's on me. If I'm going to walk through life as a victim, a product of child abuse, someone that, could be blaming, that shouldn't have happened to me. There's no reason why that should have happened to me. If I go around being a victim to that and live in my past, let my past own me, it chooses for me, I give my power away to a past experience, that's on me. When we don't choose the scenarios in our lives for what the meaning behind it is, they own us. When I don't choose that I'm getting canceled by the tattoo industry for posting tattoos that were not mine was the greatest gift from the fucking universe and it's part of my deep soul's purpose and dharma, when I don't choose that, it owns me. You change the narrative behind your past experiences. You change the narrative behind your beliefs and why you believe the things that you believe. And you no longer blame anybody else for the reasons why you are the way that you are. You take ownership for still wearing that. Yes, those things happened. Yes, should it have happened? Maybe it shouldn't have. Maybe those things had nothing to do with you, and that's okay. Child abuse, that's not okay. But at the same time, I could still source that as my past and not look at it as something that, wow, I'm really proud of the person I became outside of that. That was necessary, and I truly believe in divine pathways. I don't look at that as something, yeah, it was an unfortunate event. Yes, did it happen? But you know what? It made me understand so many things about myself, about my parents, about my life, about my lineage, about my ancestry. So many things. And there's no shame in that. For me, I talk about that with a source of groundedness because of the fact that I know that why would I make it any other story than make it mean something a part of my own hero's story? It's not a the end story. Oh, she's a victim and she's a product of that and done. I am now aware of those things. I am aware of everything that goes on inside of my body. I am aware of all of my beliefs. And I can become aware of the ones that pop up in random times. And so when things do pop up, I always investigate. It's the investigation that's the part of you that's really, really brave. To investigate your own wounds, your own beliefs, your own shadows, the things that you think. I don't know about you, but a retreat sounds so fucking juicy good. All-inclusive, feminine leadership tattoo retreat in June here in sunny San Diego. All-inclusive means that you will have a private chef in a mansion that beds 22 people with a pool and all the things. And we'll also have a private yoga instructor. We'll also have a photographer, my photographer, who is amazing, and she'll take photos of everybody so you can create content. So I want you to show up in all of your authentic goddess self so you can be, in your content, showing up as your authentic self so that you can call in people you desire. And then we'll also be masterminding and going over business strategies for each and every one of you individually and also in group so that we can really plan the most successful, epic wealth year that you desire. So if you're in, you're in. Go in the show notes, get in. There's only 10 slots. We already have 2 people in, so there's only 8 slots. So don't miss it. Love you. Because when you're stuck, because then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, okay. Let's find out what this stuck feeling actually feels like in the body. Is it stuck? Am I really stuck? Are you really stuck? Are you really stuck? Can we ask that question and you tell me without a shadow of a doubt that is the full truth, 100% nothing but the truth? And I would have to bet money that can't be true. We're not stuck. Stuck, limbo, overwork, overwhelm, perfectionism, confusion, not knowing what to do next. You know what to do next. The thing is that the next move requires bravery, requires courage. And a lot of times that's really, really fucking inconvenient for most of us because of the fact that it takes us out of our comfort zone. And so, tough love here, it's not that you're stuck. It's just, it's inconvenient for you to be brave. And And hey, if you want to, that's where you just own it. Yeah, it's inconvenient for me right now to be brave. I've done it. I've definitely done it where I've been very fucking honest with myself and been like, it's just really inconvenient for me right now to source courage. It's really inconvenient. Yes, I don't like where I'm at. Yes, it's painful to stay exactly where I am, but at the same time, it's really inconvenient to do this. And then by the next day, I always end up doing it because I can't, I don't have it in my body not to follow in what is my alignment, not to at least try, not to at least dip my fucking toe in it. Like I have to. That's just who I am now. I have sourced that within myself and it has changed me. And now that it's just an embodied part of me that I walk with, I've switched and changed the relationship that I have with fear. And now every story I source from my past is an experience of wisdom to allow me to know that it was meant to seriously happen. I truly, truly believe in like that divine pathways, divine unfolding of life. You know, whatever is rejection is protection. Showing up fully to life with the internal compass and sourcing the portals of possibility, right? And we're asking ourselves the question, the deep self-belief, the optimism, like always those questions, instead of, oh, how am I going to do this? It's like, what can I believe that I'm capable of? Right? Like we battle all of these things, and we battle the things of like, I don't want to look like cringy, or I don't want to look like an idiot, or I don't want to say that I'm going to do something and it not happen. But what's so amazing is that what most people find so inspiring is seeing people try. You guys, I mean, some of you guys have been following me for years. And it's just like you're just watching me try, fall, break my face, get back up again, try it over again. Cringy when I look back on old things. And I'm cringy now when I'm like doing the thing. And it's like, I'm always willing to have a beginner's mindset. I'm always willing to have a student's mindset, and transmuting the discomfort into something that's so fucking, it's like a diamond. That's what creates healthy pressure, is a diamond. It's like that healthy pressure creates diamonds. It creates like that gold that we source from within us. We all have it. We all play in different realms. We play in the realm of predictability, possibility, and potentiality. Predictability is what we do every single day. We're just copying the same thing over and over again. We're staying the same. We're in the comfort zone. Possibility is just allowing ourselves to dream just a little bit bigger and know that we've seen the possibility in it. Oh my gosh, like I'm right there. I'm so close. My peers that I'm sitting next to are doing the same thing. This is so rad. Potential. That's a $10 million year for me. Potential. I'm like, whoo, that feels hard in my body. Like I don't even know if I'm energetically able to hold all of that in my body just yet. And I know that, and I'm willing for that. Do I believe that I'm absolutely able to hold a $200,000 cash month? Absolutely. I'm totally ready for it. I'm here for it. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like that feels really good in my body. It hasn't happened yet, but that feels like that's like my next thing that's coming. I feel that happening. And so that's something I can get excited about and wrap my body around and not have to think about all the hows, because I have created the pathways and I know that I'm surrounded by people that are doing that and more. So it's like, I know, see, I'm getting into rooms and I'm stretching my capacity to be brave and to take action and to feel and create that space over time. And when I say create that space, I mean we're healing what it is that we believe we're capable of over time. And we keep taking action and we keep taking action. Action is where you create that clarity. There is no other way around it. You're not going to create clarity by reading a book on swimming. You got to go out there and swim. So the moment is that when you feel it in your bones to do something, but yet you're telling yourself, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the energy, I don't have this, I don't have that. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we'll be okay with the fact that you want to live in the realm of predictability, and that is A-okay. And absolutely, I am all about the empowered yes and no, but if it's a disempowered thing where you're giving your power away to time, energy, and money, then there is something in there that's the belief of like, I don't know how to do this. I don't see myself on the other side winning. I don't see myself actually being capable of this. I'm a little bit afraid of being like held accountable for this. Because what if I don't do this? I'm afraid of someone calling me an idiot for investing in this, investing time, energy, money, and attention into this. And so it's like really when we're saying I don't have time, I don't have energy, I don't have the money, those three things are a deeper. It's a depth. It's a much deeper thing. But when I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Damn. I love an empowered just no. Like I know myself. It's not the time or the energy or the money. I'm not giving myself excuses. It's like I'm just not ready to make that big leap. It sounds exciting and maybe I'm just not ready. And that's okay. That gets to be okay too. And we don't shame that. See, this is where we are allowed to have conversation, not outsource our power to something else, completely sovereign, be unfuckwithable in our authentic self, source bravery and courage to continue to take action over time, get into rooms where people stretch us to remind us of our new normal, and then start connecting to the presence and play and the pleasure of what it is that you desire. Because if it's not the right time now, you know in a couple months it'll be the right time, right? I know for me that if it's exciting and scary all at the same time, it's a green light to go. I say this a lot, and I know that a lot of you hear this a lot from me, but every time I feel excited and scared, it's a green light to go. When I have spent $100,000 last year in mentorship alone, and it was easy to do. It was easy to do because I was like making a ton of money, but I was also working a lot. I was working a lot. And I was like feeling out what I wanted to do with my business. You know, I was basically tattooing full-time and coaching full-time. Whereas the year before I was tattooing full-time and coaching part-time. And so last year I felt like I was pushing a lot. I had just built a shop. I was dealing with, potential people trying to sue me. And it was just a lot of stress last year. I felt like there was the worst year of sleep. That's for sure. And I felt like I worked so hard for it, but I invested so much, but there was so much scarcity around it. There was so much scarcity around the investments because I knew that I was just like, man, I know I can't work like this anymore. I have to shift. Like I know I have to shift, but I'm really, really scared. And I was not ready. And I was like, I knew that something was going to have to give. So it was like the moment that this new year happened, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to invest. I'm also going to cut my tattoo time more in half, like less than half. And I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket of coaching. And a lot of you might say, oh, well, Reese, you're already doing so fucking great. It's still fucking scary. It's like, even though I'm making good money, like it's still fucking scary. It's like, coaching has not been my safety. And I realized that by that switch, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've outsourced my safety into my business, into the tattooing. I feel safe when I'm tattooing because I know I can do it and I know I can get clients. When I'm feeling in the coaching, I was like, oh wow, I feel really scared to switch something because I've been a tattoo artist. I've identified as a tattoo artist for 13 years. And now I'm going to identify as an entrepreneur. And that's where I'm making the switch for a lot of tattooers. I'm like, we're no longer tattooers, you guys. Once you start getting into the realm of entrepreneurs, you actually open yourself up the space and the potential and the possibility, right? We're playing in those realms where we are thinking bigger. And when we think bigger, we do bigger things, right? We actually believe we're capable of more. We expand our capacity to lean in and to heal. So for me, once it was like, oh wow, I'm really stepping into this entrepreneur shoes. I'm really stepping into the spiritual entrepreneur shoes where I'm actually surrendering. I think a lot of people that can claim that they're spiritual, they don't really know how to surrender and trust and have faith. And it's so funny because the more you heal, the more you realize that like, oh wow, last year I had no faith. But then the year before you're like, but when you're in last year, you're like, wow, I have all this faith and I'm sourcing all this faith and I'm leaning in. And you're like, wow, I actually had none of that. But that's the beautiful part of growth. It's like every iteration of us gets to be a masterpiece and a work in progress all at the same time. Like at that time when I thought I was sourcing so much faith, I could look back and be like, wow, Reese, you definitely weren't. You were doing your best. But now we know what faith feels like. Like the moment when I am really under where I'm comfortable being when it comes to money, because I spent so much money in renovations in my new shop, spent so much money in all these other aspects in my life and personal life, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I really want to spend $75,000 on a year-long mentorship, and I don't want to pay every month because it's going to add up to $95,000 because of the interest rate and doing that. So I was like, I just want to pay this in full. And it scared me shitless. I was scared, but so fucking excited. And I knew in that moment, I remember hearing it and sourcing it from the universe. I felt it channeled through me in that moment that I am investing in who I am becoming. And that's when I said, boom, I clicked the button and said yes to me. Because I'm not investing in who I am now. I'm investing in the future woman that knows that that's what would happen. That's what she did in the future. My future me, the one that lives in potential. That's what she did. She decided to make an investment in herself. That's what she would do. She's like, there are 3, like 4 or 5 bajillion potential Reeses, and the few that I'm looking at are the ones that are where she's at 10 mil. Okay, she's making 10 mil a year. That's where I'm at. And so I'm looking to her to give me the answers of how I can do this now. And I'm not investing in the me now. I'm investing in the her over there. I'm investing in the person I'm becoming. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, well, actually, that future me is going to have that money once I become that person. So if I invest now, then I am acting as her. And now I get to be, okay, I'm sourcing my energy in the realms of possibility and potential by just doing this now, because I'm investing in who I am becoming versus investing in who I am, or in not investing and staying in the realm of predictability and sourcing my capabilities through what I've already done. Because obviously I've never made $10 million, so of course I don't know how to do it. But I'm going to get into rooms of people that do. I'm going to invest big because I know that I have the potential. I have the capabilities of becoming a woman that does. And I'm going to be brave about it because I got to source bravery anytime I feel in limbo. Last year I felt in limbo. I invested in the most random things and all these random coaches because I was just looking for the next, oh my gosh, what's the next thing? I had the shiny object syndrome. I was like, this person can help me with this person can help me with this. And I invested so much money, but it was all like little incremental, little small amounts of money. But over time, if you were to add it up, it would have been just the same amount of money. It was just like, oh my gosh. Spent so much money on different coaches because I was just like, shiny object syndrome. How can I do this? How can I do this? How can I do this? And I kept finding myself in that lack, that scarcity. And I was not actually following in my dharma. I wasn't following in my purpose. I wasn't following in my highest alignment because I was scared. And I was letting that fear dictate my next move. And it was just this or this or that or this, instead of just focusing on the one thing that I knew that was going to help me in the long run. Which, whatever it might have been, I just didn't have any focus much at all. And so when this new year came, I was like, ease is my word of the year. I'm going to choose ease. And what ease meant to me was that it was like taking hold, being really intentional with the things that I do and doing them big. And so that was when I decided. I told my assistant, I told my team, everybody, I was like, listen, I'm going to go down to 6 days a month tattooing when I'm really used to doing 12. So I'm going to cut everything in half. If we have to do less than that, that's okay. I'm going to put all my eggs in the coaching basket. I'm going to invest $75,000 after I've just spent $100,000 in reno, and then, $25,000 in taxes. So I'm a little scarce on money, and I'm a little on the edge where I'm like, I don't want to spend this money because it's going to put me below the mark that makes me feel comfortable. And so it's so funny because I could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars as long as it doesn't go under that comfort zone. But there's always that comfort zone area where we're like, I'm just unwilling to do that. And so I knew that moment. I was like, this is my challenge. This is something where I'm uncomfy. Do I believe I can get myself out of this uncomfortable period? Can I source safety within myself? Can I be in the realm of possibility? can I know that just by following my pleasure, by following my desire, it is actually in my highest alignment, because what I desire, the universe desires it for me, because that is sourced through my soul. And my soul really, really wants me to do the thing I'm meant to do on this planet. And if it feels good to go, but it's fucking scary, do I go? We go. You go. You go because you're not investing in the you today. You're investing in your future you. I'm not here to continue to play me. I'm here to continue to grow. And if growth means that I need to get into a room that makes me feel really expansive, I'm going to get into that room. And so I did. And it scared me. For the first 2 months, I had mentee Bs. Like Kayla calls them mentee Bs. It's mental breakdowns. Didn't know what that was. I'm learning the lingo here. I had one really major one where I really thought that I didn't know what I was doing, that I had no business being anything that I was doing. I hit a rock bottom. I was crying. My partner, my boyfriend, he's just like so sweet. He's like, and he just listens and he hears me out. And he's like, okay. He's like, you know that none of that is fucking true, right? And I was like, yes, I know it's not true, but it feels like it. And I just need a moment. Can I have a bad day? And he goes, we can absolutely have a bad day. And that like sense of acceptance, just to give myself acceptance in that moment to have a bad day, like changed the trajectory of all the times I've ever felt like I couldn't do it. It's like, I'm so allowed. You are allowed to feel like you can't do it. You are allowed to feel super uncomfortable. You are allowed to be triggered. You are allowed to judge. You are allowed to hate. You are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to feel small. You are allowed to play small. You are allowed to do it all. I've done it all. Fuck my life. This is amazing. I can't believe it. I am doing it all. I am living the human experience that my soul has decided to choose to do on this planet. Like, whoa, we're doing it. When I don't accept those feelings, I am not living and I am not playing. And the moment he gave me that permission, it was like I gave myself the permission. It was all of a sudden, I felt immediately better. And the next day, it was like I was a brand new person, because I was like, I am absolutely allowed to feel all the feelings. But who do I know myself to be? And I know myself to be the courageous bitch that I am, and just says go, and gains the clarity when she goes and takes messy action. Like for me, it's about the mess. Like I'm messy. Like I am messy, you guys. Like I am not organized. Like I can be so messy. I'm not organized. I just fly by the seat of my pants. I literally will be like out and about doing my own thing, walking my dog, and source a new masterclass and start promoting it before I even tell my team. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just having my fun. This is play for me. The more I play, the less I try to manage everything so highly, micromanage the way people see me, micromanage the way that my business runs, micromanage the way I want my life to be. It's like, oh my gosh, if I just actually just listened, trusted, and move, I would move. And what's so funny is that I invested that $75,000. I've already made it back. And we're only in month 3. So it's like, holy shit. Did I just make $75,000 already? I've already made that money back. And it's like, oh, okay, well, shit fire. Here we go. Let's go. And even though it brought me below the place I like being, and even though it scared the fuck out of me, and even though I had my mental breakdown like a month in after I did it, regretting it, I was like, oh my God, I'm having buyer's remorse. What did I do? Oh my God, like I la 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 la. And it's like, this is what I should do. And then all of a sudden my mind starts to reel on all the things that I know how. The reason why it's scary is because we don't. It's the possibility and potential. I've never done any of those things I'm about to do. That's what makes it big. Because if I'm only going to base it off of what I have done, base my capabilities on what I have done in the past, I'm going to be recreating my past and putting it into my future. But if I want magic and I want miracles, I'm going to have to source through the play, through the pleasure, find the courage, fucking take messy action, and invest in who I am becoming. I'd rather be a beginner at every stage of something new and learn something new and grow than be an expert at a thing and just be bored and practically might as well not be living anymore. Like, I can't imagine a life like that. And I know that having been in tattooing for 13 years, I absolutely love it. And I don't think I'll ever give it up, but I just know that if I were to stay doing that same thing over and over again, life would pass me by. And so this is really your chance in this moment to choose. It's like, am I going to invest in who I am becoming? Or am I going to just stay in the realm of predictability and continue to do the same thing over and over again and maybe hope and expect different results? And I'm not going off and saying go spend $75,000 on mentorship or whatever like that, but what is your edge? Finding your edge, pushing against your edges, leaning into that, leaning into your edge of safety, leaning into your edge of faith, leaning into your edge of surrender, leaning into your edge of courage. What's that next thing? When I get people into my spaces, especially this new space that I've got going on Beyond the Stars, it's my 1-year-long mentorship experience. I can only imagine how it might feel for most people, especially tattooers who are just getting into the realm of out of the starving artist mentality and into the spiritual entrepreneur and creative entrepreneur vibes. Like, I know that that's hard. Like, even for me, I'm like, I told you guys the whole story about me becoming a spiritual entrepreneur and truly walking that walk. I'm like, wow, this is a really weird feeling to no longer identify as just a tattooer. So it's really just like, this is really like this testament to me. Is like, I'm over here talking about leaving the starving artist mentality and moving into the spiritual entrepreneur, running your business like a CEO. And I'm having to make those big decisions to do so. And in order to do so, I have to leave the realm of predictability and move into the realms of possibility and then potentiality. I got to move into that realm. And I only have to touch that realm of potential. I only have to touch it. I have the potential of a $10 million year? Yes. I don't have to go any further than that. I can come back to the realm of possibility, come back to the present moment, because that's all we need to do is touch it. That's all dreams are. Dreams are just visions of the future. Dreams are just like memories of the future for you. If you have a dream, that's a memory of your future. But you don't have to work how. Right now, it's like, let me just take incremental steps every single day. Like, there's no need to work the how. There's no need to like get yourself into like analysis of paralysis and get into overwhelm. Let the vision be a vision and let that expand you, and then take daily action after that. Right? So we really want to like ask ourselves, what would the next level me do? Acting as if, how do I grow and expand from this space? Making the money that makes me excited, right? That's the thing. So push against your edges, find those edges, really ask yourself, where are my edges? Where am I playing small? Can I be okay with that too? There's no shame allowed in this space. I refuse it. Do not even bring it here. And if you have shame, we don't shame that either, right? This is full fucking acceptance, genuine self-expression. When you are there, it is impossible for you not to do incredibly great things. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next episode.